అవును పొద్దున పని చేయలేదు మా ఇట్లా అని చెప్పాడు. ఎవరు పని చేస్తుంది? హలో హలో నువ్వు పని చేయటం
మామూలు పని అది ఆల్రెడీ తర్వాత అది కూడా అయిపోయింది. స్టార్టింగ్ బాక్స్ స్టార్టింగ్ బాక్స్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఉందా చూసే బిల్లు అయితే స్టార్టింగ్ బాక్స్ బ్యాటరీ ఒకదానికి వస్తుంది.
ఒకసారి
హలో హలో
Bluetooth mode.
బాక్స్
okay, well, should we wait? Usually we have about 50-60 people sitting in here.
Yeah, because I think it's been raining continuously.
People were warning me this morning. It's like, are you sure you want to continue with this?
I actually thought to ask you, but then I was like, okay, it's all pre-planned, so no point,
Right, that's why I didn't want to cancel it either. So that pitch is coming. We have a full agenda today.
Okay.
That's usually we try to motivate startups to come pitch. So today we have a full agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, we have idea pitches also. So.
Hi,
Krishna?
Yes.
Just a minute.
Any problem?
No. Can you help me with
Okay.
Sorry?
Any problem?
No. I just need details.
Actually, I won't be presenting. Sharon.
But this is after.
AEGI. Dynamic.
Thank you. I don't remember.
No, he hasn't yet sent it because he made it in like the Mac thing, so I told him convert it to so if he can go last, that'll be great.
Yeah, it will be around 5.
Last minute, and then we can come. Fine, I'll ask him to send it. It's okay. I told that he'll have to send you the that's why I said either you go last, you'll see him there. Well, how's it going, guys? One of my interns. Like all hard questions. How's everything going with you guys? Your experiments today?
Hello. You can all hear me, right?
Hello.
42.
I think we'll start. Okay, we have a very thin crowd today. Good afternoon. I'm guessing people will slowly drop in, like the rain. So, thank you all for being here. Good afternoon. I'm Diwakar, manager of Andhra University's Incubation Council. We call it AHUB. Welcome to Startup Saturdays, a forum for innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, and other startup enthusiasts. This forum is organized by AHUB and its partners. AHUB is an independent Section 8 company constituted within Andhra University. We have two-part mission. One, it is a regular incubator with all the usual support services of any incubator. Two, it also leads the institution's Innovation Council of Andhra University. In its second role, AHUB promotes and encourages innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty on campus and in the region. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourselves. Let's go around quickly and just name and affiliation.
Hi, I'm Amit Hirawat.
Hirawat.
Yeah, I'm from Hirawat basically.
Hi, my name is Krishna. I'm one of the founders at startup being incubated at AHUB. You'll hear more from my people later on. So,
Hi, I'm Purushottam.
Hi guys, I'm Aditya.
Hi, this is Suresh. I have multi-years of experience in startups, semiconductors, and other things.
Hi all, this is Mandesh, and I'm a corporate professional with about 13 years of experience. And currently, I'm actually working on retail specific, addressing, finding out opportunities within retail, and the two were apparel related. So I look forward to having you.
Hi, good afternoon to one and all. Myself is Janikiram and I'm the founder of Zenatza Beverages Private Limited. So,
Hi, this is Pranav.
Pranav from?
I'm from North Campus, sir. I'm studying.
You're a college student, engineering college student?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
studying. Engineering college.
Hello, this is Shivani. I'm a content strategist and an intern at AHUB.
Hi. Hi, this is Sai Surya. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm an algorithmic trader. I trade in the futures and options segment. And I'm also co-founder of K-Climb Cosmetics. I founded it along with my friend.
I'm the co-founder of Kenya.
I am Marty Rao Thiru. I'm co-founder of DSC Technologies. We are into Python type.
Okay. All right. Did you introduce yourself, Pranav?
Hi, I am Pranav. I represent E4 here.
Thank you all. Welcome. A very warm welcome to all you, all speakers, guests, and attendees. Thank you for joining us today. This forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone, and we hope you will take full advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. The first segment is Show Me the Money, where Bhavna, our grants management specialist, presents details about one grant and provides dates of a few other grants that are coming up, that are due. Technical talk is the main feature of this show. We pick a different topic each time, bringing in experts from the industry, and they'll share their experience, expertise, and the use cases that they're working on. Next one is startup pitches. We have a slot for you to pitch your company regardless of the stage you're at. It is always good to be practicing your pitch, repeatedly selling yourself and your company. Is there anyone? Oh, we have two today. So the slots are full today. Idea pitches. We also have idea pitches that we are going to see today. Slots for ideas are always available. If you have an idea, please contact me if you want to share it on this forum. Then we have 15 minutes open mic towards the end. If anybody has an idea or want to share anything that is on your mind, you're welcome to share during that period. We put in the effort to organize these, and we are having fun doing them. The more you engage, the more you derive. So please be tuned in and attend these sessions. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while the speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from cross-talk or side conversations. It is distracting. If you are pitching today and have a presentation, please send your presentation to Pranav. But I think I have all the presentations for today. It will keep the, well, except agents, so that we are waiting on. So we run a tight program. Kindly note that a pitch is allotted to maximum of 10 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes for pitching and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. The audience, please keep your question answers to the designated time period, but if the speaker is engaging you in a question answer session during their presentation, please go ahead and ask your questions. Alright, with that, let's commence our session. Bhavna, it is all yours.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening everybody. So for today's session of Show Me the Money, we are going to talk about the NRDC seed funding that is by the Ministry of Science and Technology. So it's a very typical seed fund program like of DST and DBT, where they want to put in money in early stage growth as well as companies building innovation. Couple of objectives are to support startups that are incubated within the state and central government incubators. The second one is to promote effective use of research conducted by public and private institutions. And the third one is, as all of these seed programs have, which is to build the entrepreneur ecosystem with respect to companies or entrepreneurs having new product technology and processes. Who can be funded under the program are the Indian manufacturing startup, right? Now when we talk about manufacturing, we can talk about the process, we can talk about product design as well, we can talk about the logistics that comes under manufacturing. So they've given a very broad term as manufacturing, but you can read more about their guidelines, which I'll tell you where it's available. The company should be, so an entrepreneur, a single individual can't apply. You need to have a company in order to apply for the grant program, for the seed funding program. The company should be incorporated under the Companies Act. They have to be an incubatee under an incubator for at least 6 months before they can apply for the seed fund program. Company or startup should be registered with DPIIT. This is something we also help at AHUB. If you need registration with respect to this, that's possible at AHUB. And more than 51% of the shares should be held by the Indian president. These are the list of things that can be funded under the program. Because it's not an idea to prototype program, you cannot use this money to build your prototype, but you can use this money for testing your POC, right? You can use it for fabrication, field trial. It can also be used for phases 1, 2, 3 trials of pharma product. And if you want to set up a manufacturing unit, a process plant. But please be noted that the amount of seed fund is only 30 lakh rupees. So you obviously cannot build the entire manufacturing line with the money, but a part of it, like a line of it. Right. These are a couple of evaluation criteria mentioned. So the NRDC has a committee called IDC committee, which is the Investment and Disinvestment Committee. So that means that they have the right to take away the investment whenever they want to, or they can stop the project whenever they want to. So these are a couple of things that they look forward to. The size of investment in terms of anticipated project cost. So what they expect when they say that the project cost, that you're probably doing a bigger project of 1 CR, 2 CR, 3 CR, can be 50 CR, but they will do 30 lakhs in that project, they'll invest, and they want to be a part of a bigger project is what they want to see by this. They look at the size of company, they look at your team, they look at your IPR. One thing that we've always been seeing in a lot of these government programs is they put a lot of emphasis on the IP that you're making in the process. moving ahead. These are the next few set of evaluation criteria that they have. Yeah, I think any program, grant or seed will look at these. Seed specifically will look at how your business model, your revenue model will work. What are the promoters and are there any defaulters or not, right? These are certain things that they will look at. So the mode of investment is 30 lakh of redeemable optionally converted debentures. So what it means by redeemable optionally converted debenture, that till the period of 36 months, the 30 lakhs will be in the form of debentures, which can be converted into preference or equity shares, again depending on the committee. If they want to redeem the debentures along with the interest, they can redeem it after the 36 months, or they can, if your company is going good, they might want to shift and convert it into shares, right? So that is something that they want to do. Till it is a debenture, you need to keep, the interest will be at 1 year of SBI FD rate. And once you want to change it to shares, that depending on your valuation, they have their own valuer, will value your company, and then the price of the share will be decided. And the interest due at the end of every financial year should be paid by the investee company to NRDC every year. NRDC uses the interest that we give to them to either invest back in your company or to invest in another company. So it depends on the committee at the end of the day. And yeah, the last one is the initial debenture allotment period is of 36 months, and after that you can convert it. So just taking you quickly through the application form. General applicant details are the name, address, date of birth, etc. But they also require a company documents like the registration certificate, incorporation certificate, MOA, AOA, DPIT, etc. You need to provide the incubation center details as well, where the center is, how long the center has, how long has it been since the center incorporated, all of the details. Manpower strength is the number of employees in your country, in your organization. When we talk about the project detail, they require a brief about what your project is, what your technology is. You need to have a write-up in a brochure sort of. So when they say write-up in a brochure, it's the pitch deck, which you will upload on the platform. And then the project image or video link if you have any. If there are any test reports that you have done in order to build your prototype, you can attach them. Government compliance required. Again, IPR detail becomes important. If you filed an IPR or if you already have an IP, that's good. If not, the application number or something. And technical collaboration required from any other industry, any other organization that you might need moving ahead in the future. Those are the certain things. For financial details, they ask for the anticipated cost of the project. As I said, you can be running a bigger project and this can be a part. And you can ask them for the amount of funding required. For example, 30 lakhs, you might need 25, etc. Right? And so proposed sources of funding means that if you have acquired any funding before, let it be in terms of grant and aid, loan, equity investment, you need to provide the name of the agency or the name of the investor along with the amount they sanctioned, how much have they given you till now, how much is left. In terms of equity, you need to mention the valuation that was decided at that point of time, the percentage of shares that particular investor has, right? So all of these past details you need to give along with the audited report of your company. Another thing that I saw was the past working result and financial position. So net turnover, gross profit, right? All of these information is required in the form itself. Like before you even go forward to the committee, you need to have these information by your side. They've asked this for the last 3 years, but I'm assuming that if you're functional only for 2 years, that's something that we'll have to speak with them, right? But all of these details are required for the past 3 years. And the next one is again details of investment in the company, from where have you received, details of the director, details of the shareholder, and any legal case details that are pending with your company. The last part of the application form is the business opportunity available. So here again you put your business plans, your financial projections, how will the funding from NRDC help you in order to continue with your project, problem solved by the startup. They've asked for risk, etc. But those are not important things, that's why I've not mentioned it here. but they've asked for, are there any risks because of your project? How will it harm the environment, etc. So those are a couple of things that they've taken care of. And after that, you need to show the production projection and the financial projection for the next 3 years. Okay. The application deadline for this fund is the 15th of September. The link is mentioned here. I've mentioned just a couple of questions, but there are more things to the application that are not necessary but can be useful for you if you want to mention that. So if there are any other questions regarding the program, you can go through the link and you can always reach out to us at AHA. You can reach out to me on my mail ID if you have any questions, etc. with respect to this grant program or any other. Let's say you have an idea and you want to know if there's a grant program that can help you. So I can help you with that. Thank you.
I have a question. So typically this one would be for people who are already done with
Or beyond the prototype stage.
yeah. So and also it's all debt. It's either debt or
The venture works like a debt,
yeah.
but
So
when it's converted, it becomes a.
yeah. So it's basically convertible.
It's a but it's their call. If they feel like you can't, if they feel like they don't want part of your company after the 36 months, they will ask you to redeem the debenture then there.
I don't think that's a good sign either. That they don't want you.
So that means that maybe they need the money.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Sometimes they just need the money to fund in some other project or for their organization.
So one of the things you mentioned is that you can use it for like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? So, but the big grant is debt free, and that is going to be similarly for like phase 1, phase 2.
You have to give back for the big grant.
Even big, we had to get back. So
Only some amount, either 10 or 15 lakhs is a grant in it. The rest, 30, 25 is something that you'll have to return to them after the program.
So I
They
guess,
work in an interest-free model. That is a good thing. But so under DBT, there's only biotech startups. But you're not. They've not put any industry and domain. Any domain is open.
somehow this all feels like this is why we don't get new things out. And so I'm just pointing it out. I hope this is recorded so that some government official will see it and be like, hey, this person is saying this is stupid and this is stupid.
It is recorded and you are heard very well. You have a question?
It's an unsecured loan kind of.
No, it is pretty much secured loan.
Secured because it's a debenture that will be formed.
I mean, no collateral loan.
No collateral.
Collateral free.
But the government will not leave you.
That is fine. That is fine.
Yeah.
They should be answerable to many people.
They have a very thorough due diligence process. Like they squeeze you for 6-7 months in order to just give you 30 lakhs.
So you're saying go for actual.
I mean, go for as many as funds you can get because go for BIG, parallelly go for this. 80 lakhs you just get via these two fund programs.
It is purely for manufacturing startups, not for technology or.
Technology, but there has to be a manufacturing component in it. Let's say you're developing a device or a product, like for pharma,
Something.
right?
It is not virtual, I mean, or e-commerce kind of thing or pure
I think
technology
software
business.
can be a part of it, but then you'll have to go through the guidelines once to understand if your company, or maybe in conversation with you, I will understand if your company fits fine. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna. There are a lot more sources of funds, grants, loans, and lots of other sources. So Bhavna knows a lot about all this stuff. So please contact her if you have questions. If you don't need money and you're rich, that's okay.
Yeah, I wish that was the case.
So, because I keep wondering why nobody connects with Bhavna about funding. Very, very few calls, right? Very, very few calls. So I'm assuming everybody in the ecosystem is just rich. So, alright, let's move on to the next part of the session, which is the main feature. We pick. If you're wondering how we pick our speakers for these technical sessions, here is a brief explanation. We focus at 4 levels to explore entrepreneurship and bring you the best of ideas and depth of understanding. We look at the individual, we look at the company, the sector, and the ecosystem. We try to pick different places. So each level has a distinct set of challenges and opportunities, suitable set of skills and resources, and provides a level of understanding of entrepreneurship. If you're already an entrepreneur, these talks will help you understand the journey. If you are considering it or are just exploring, these talks will give you a great intro into the journey. Today we will focus on the sector. We all know Hirawat stores in Vizag, right? All of us know Hirawat's. A very popular one and a mainstay for several decades now. Hirawat's operations are extensive and they deal in all kinds of apparel, furnishings, clothing, accessories, and other random items we use every day. Mr. Abik graduated from National Institute of Fashion Technology and joined his family business. You're a third-generation entrepreneur. He initiated and now runs their online uniforms, Hirawat'sOnline.com. The online platform is primarily focused on hospital scrubs, one of the largest manufacturers and businesses in online in the uniform sector. But beyond that, Abik is a serious observer of the industry and has been thinking about various challenges. Let's first welcome Mr. Abik to share his thoughts and insights on retail sector.
So good evening guys. I know it's been a rainy Saturday and thanks for being over here. So we're going to speak about opportunities for startups in retailing. I hope you guys can hear me. So let me give you a landscape. What is global retailing basically? So retail is one of the largest industries worldwide, contributing significantly to the global economy. Retail is very dynamic in nature. So there's a lot of innovations and disruptions in this market. So let us understand what are the key drivers and what is the market size. So the key drivers for global retail is e-commerce growth. As you all guys know, the rise of online shopping platforms has revolutionized retail and offers convenience. Then you have technological advancements, that is basically your AI, AR and IoT, which is reshaping the retail landscape. Changing consumer behavior. So this is basically today shoppers are preferring eco-friendly products and they want personalized shopping. So that is basically how the consumer behavior is changing. And the global growth basically. So if you see in 2023, the global retail sales have sold more than $26 trillion. That is projecting of almost a 5.3% CAGR. So I'm going to talk about the emerging trends in global retail. So what are the trends which are influencing retail? One is e-commerce boom, which I just explained. Omni-channel retailing. So what is omni-channel retailing? Omni-channel retailing basically having the same shopping experience for an offline when a consumer buys offline or online. So that is omni-channel retailing. Then again, sustainability focus, customers preferring eco-friendly products and they're driving towards sustainable practices and offering. Personalization strategies. That is utilization of consumer data to create a personalized customer to have personalized shopping experience. Like basically getting the data from the consumers or from the retail and targeting to them exactly towards them. Then again you have a technology integration, same as your AI, AR and IoT application. So this is actually disrupting the whole retail landscape. So now we'll speak about the Indian retail market basically. So for example, in Indian retail market is one of the fastest growing globally market. So as you know, India it is driven by young population, rising incomes, and urbanization. So there's a lot of scope in the Indian retail market. And in terms of value, it is about $1.3 trillion, and it is growing with a CAGR of 9 to 11%. So if you see, the global retail is growing at a CAGR of 5 to 6%, but the Indian retail is growing approximately between 9 to 11%. See, one of the factors why Indian retail is growing is basically, I'll just show you the landscape over here. So these are one of the avenues where startup can actually look into it. So you have the e-commerce and digital platform. You see a lot of websites and a lot of platforms. You know, there are Indianized platforms like replication of Shopify and all over here. There are a lot of marketplaces which has opened up off late. So you can see there's a lot of boom in the e-commerce and digital platforms. Second, startups can look at rural retailing. So India is a huge country. So right now digital penetration is very low at rural place. Still it is at the urban segment. So if someone can actually try to connect the rural to the urban, the rural market, the retail market, then it's a huge opportunity. Again, as a global trend, personalized shopping experience using data and targeting to the particular customers, sustainability, because consumers are growing preference for environment friendly products. And the last thing is the last mile delivery solution. If innovation can come in logistics, where you're able to deliver products till the last mile, deliver product to the 4 town or 5 towns places. It's a huge market. So these are basically opportunities as a startup where you can look into it. So I will be focusing my talk mostly on the role of predictive analysis in retail. So what is predictive analysis? So predictive analysis is basically nothing but using data to predict the outcome. So using data, using technologies like AI or machine learning, and to provide an outcome which is going to give you the future, which is we are trying to estimate what is the future of that product. For example, if I'm taking some data and trying to analyze it, and then I'm going to make sure I'm going to have a potential that this is the X number of thing what I'm looking at. So basically I'll try to explain the whole how you can use predictive analysis basically in 3 steps by giving an examples. So I'll tell you the main 3 areas of impact for predictive analysis. One is inventory management, second is personalized marketing, and third is pricing strategies. So let me speak about inventory management. So then I'll give you the example. So let's take an example of the website Myntra. So what does Myntra do if it has to reduce its inventory? So basically it's going to see from where it can get the data sources. So basically first it's going to look at historical sales data, see what was past sales in the same period of time. For example, it's trying to see what is the sales going to come this Diwali. So if it has to use predictive analysis, they're going to see the sale of last year data. See how many people have bought, what was the total sale, and then try to give an approximate number of how much sale you can do this year. The second source will be social media trends. Will scan, basically see trending topics, hashtags in Instagram, Twitter, and other social media application. Try to analyze what trends have come, what it can focus on. For example, if it is Indian, if you are talking about Diwali, so what type of in Indian ethnic wear, what type of products are selling, what are the social media influencers focusing more on. So that is how it can actually try to pinpoint and try to manufacture those products. Secondly, it's going to see consumer behavior. Basically, it can track customers, what are they searching on its own website, what are the products they're adding on a wish list, what were the products they added on a wish list last year, and what is the trend. This also will help Myntra to understand what sizes are selling. For example, there's a lot of customers who are buying only size large. So the whole idea is to manufacture more of size large. And lastly will be the external factors. So external factors are basically, for example, there is a movie coming up, or what are the climatic conditions? How will these factors influence the buying of a consumer? Because for example, there's a big Shah Rukh Khan movie coming up and he's wearing a certain type of kurta pajama. So for example, right now there's a lot of sequence kurta pajama which is, everyone is wearing. I think it is in one of these Telugu movies. So everyone's wearing the same the sequence work, heavy kurta pajama. So for Myntra to understand that, it has to analyze data. So when it takes sources of data from all these points and then put it in a predictive analysis model, so what it will be, what it can help a company like Myntra do is first plan its inventory management. It can reduce its stock levels, buy only what is required, and buy exactly, depending on the customer portfolio. It can curate the whole collection of it. So this will enhance this. So this will actually help you to reduce the inventory cost by 20%. Once you reduce the inventory by 20%, you also are increasing the sales because you're targeting the exact customers. Thirdly, it's reducing waste. So after this whole, there's no excess inventory left. What they have analyzed and what the predictive model has said, they have manufactured and marketed the same thing. So a lot of wastage has been reduced. So that is, I think, one example where you see bigger companies and all are using predictive analysis to reduce inventory. Now let's talk about basic personalized shopping. So if you see the global trend and the Indian trend was personalized shopping. So let's take an example of Fab India basically. So now Fab India wants to, the whole idea is it's going to gather data so that it can send you personalized messages so that it can increase its sales. So basically what it's going to do is basically, the idea is it's going to see your purchase history, what you have already bought from Fab India, what are your likes, what are your dislikes, your browsing behavior. So once you walk into a store, what is the section where you're looking at, what are the items you're picking up. Then if again there's any festivals or seasons which is coming up, and the demographic data where they're located, what type of customers it caters to, what is the price range where they're looking at. So analyzing all this data, so for example what it can do is it can send you, if there's a woman who's buying silk sarees or linen sarees from Fab India, it can curate a message and tell them, okay, these are the new arrivals of sarees right now available at the store. Or it can also tell you, okay, these are sarees which are on discount. See, what is happening right now is it's targeting to the exact customer what it likes. So what happens? The customer loyalty increases. Fab India knows this customer wants to buy sarees, and the customer also requires sarees. So there is a direct connection. So this will always help Fab India to basically increase customer loyalty. There's a high conversion rate because when the customer walks into the store, it knows there's a discount in silk sarees. It walks towards the sarees, picks it up and gets it billed. And one of the most important things, optimize marketing spends. Today, Fab India is not sending messages to each and everyone. Today they have discount in silk sarees. They know their customer base from silk sarees. They're only sending messages to them. Same thing. If, for example, they're doing a promotion on kurtas or they're planning, they're only sending messages to that curated audience, which in turn is helping them to reduce their marketing spend. So again, that is how, if you see, they can increase the customer loyalty that way. So third, I'll give you an example how you can increase sales during peak season. So we are talking about dynamic pricing. So how are retailers using dynamic pricing? So what is dynamic pricing? Dynamic pricing is nothing but changing the price of a product depending on the demand of the season. So let's say
it depends on the season, not in personalized way.
It depends on personalized way also.
Also it will happen.
Yes.
So but if a user want to share the particular whatever they got for valuation, want to share to particular other person, for them to open in their applications, will the rates gonna be altered?
Depends. So basically, if for example, let's take for an example, it is a Diwali season or it's a Christmas right now. So it knows a lot of fancy or suits and all will sell. So companies can spike the prices around that time. Because it's a necessity for you to buy that time. But around the same time, for example, the linen shirts, it can drop down the price of the linen shirt.
Okay.
So that is dynamic pricing.
Yes. But it is based upon the season, not based upon the customer. That is so. That's what I'm thinking.
So customer, see what happens is all about a custom segmentation basically.
Yeah.
So it's very it is considered, but it's very minor.
Okay.
Because if it's an upscale place, they won't try to sell low value items. So that is already taken care. this thing. If, for example, again the same example, if the item is still not selling, they'll still want to reduce the price to liquidate this stock. This thing. So yeah, so dynamic pricing basically, if you take an example for Reliance Trends. So what will Reliance Trends do basically? First, how is it going to gather data? What are the data points they're going to look at? First, they're going to look at competitors' pricing. Who are its competitors? What are the price of the products of its competitors? Going to analyze that data. Secondly, consumer demand forecasting. Does that product has a demand? Can I actually price that product higher? Because if there's no demand, there's no point analyzing so much data. Thirdly, what are the inventory levels it already has? See, in retail, basically in apparel specifically, it takes almost 3 to 4 months for the stock to come in. The whole lead time is 4 months. So basically, if a retailer wants to sell XYZ product, it needs to plan 6 months in advance. Even a fast fashion retailer like Zara, it takes at least 61 days for the product to come to its store. So it needs to plan, its inventory level. Then again, obviously, as Sir mentioned, customer segmentation. Basically, what is the type of customer the store is targeting? So depending on all these 4 to 5 factors, and when you gather data from all these points, and you run predictive analysis on this, then what is going to happen? You're going to, depending on this, you change your pricing strategy. As I just mentioned, in the season time, you might increase it. If your inventory levels are too high, you want to reduce the price so that the product can fly off the shelf. So when you do all this, basically use predictive analysis in this, you're able to increase the revenue, increase the inventory turnover. So the retailer can churn its inventory more faster. So give way for new products to come in, and obviously customer satisfaction. You're getting the right product at the right time, and this is what you're thinking about, and you're getting the same thing. So you're really happy about it. So that is how, so these are basic. I just give you 3 examples how predictive analysis can be used. There's so much scope in predictive analysis. Retail is all maths, this thing, because everything is pre-planned. There is nothing that, I can't get fashion right away. What is fashion basically? There's a trend which someone is collecting. When a trend is accepted by the masses, then that becomes fashion, this thing. For all this to happen, there's a lot of analysis which is happening. Few companies are picking up things. They're like, okay, they are, we are looking, this trend is, coming up in the streets of Tokyo or Paris. Let's pick it up, like brands like Zara and all that. Or the runway shows, they're picking up the designs and all that. They're testing in a few stores. Once they get results from the stores, they're putting in mass production, and that is how it trickles down. This thing. So that is the importance of predictive analysis in retail. So as a startup, how can you leverage predictive analysis? So first is data monetization. So as a startup company, you can gather data from different places. You can gather data from online websites, you can gather data from Google, or you can gather data from retail, brick and mortar retail.
I think it's like the data you can or you wish is better. If you wish really to gather all those data, it's better.
Can you hold out your questions until the speaker finishes?
Sure, sir, sure.
Thank you.
So again, as I said, data monetization. So once you gather data as a startup, you can provide services. So you can analyze the data and give actionable insights to a retailer. So this can be a business model. So you're a company as a startup, you analyze data and give actionable insights. Then you are developing predictive tools. It is basically, you can go to a retailer and tell them to share the data with you and create a tool specifically designed for them to forecast trends and enhancing decision making. That is basically for more of a small and medium enterprises. So as a startup, you're going to them, is like, give me your data, let me analyze it. I'll give you demand forecasting. I'll tell you how much inventory to buy. I'll help you with all the forecasting. That is one model you guys can look into it. Then customized retail solutions. So basically, there are different types of retailers basically. So you can go to them and like, okay, I'll specifically create for you a tailored program which is going to help you with XYZ. So let's take my example. So I deal with uniforms. So I will be like, okay, if someone can come up to me and tell me, I'll make a niche, I'll make a solution for you, where if you just input the number of students in a school, the how many boys and how many girls, my model will tell you how much uniform to be made and at what sizes, depending on the classes, depending on the grades. If I can give you the data, and also give you data of the past year. Okay, this is I have sold 1,000 uniforms, for example, Timpney School, and now the strength of the school is 1,200 with class-wise details. So the model can actually tell me how much do I make. I can take a buffer depending on my experience, but I need to know. I don't want to pile up with inventory and make a guesswork and see okay, do I make 1,000 or do I make 1,200? Well, last I sold XYZ and this was the inventory left. I use a tool like predictive analysis, which gives me right data. It also tells me the delta which is there in it, and this is what I'm going to manufacture. So if you manufacture this will be sufficient for your season. So again, this is how I reduce a lot of cost. My sales are increased. Most importantly, if you guys, I don't know if you've bought uniforms at my store, you need a hassle. Some of the time the uniforms are not available. So all these problems are going to get solved. This thing, you come, I have your uniform, you buy, and you leave. So for me, something like having a tailored solution is very important. And lastly, consulting service. Basically, you can help retailers to onboard them to predictive analysis. Basically, you can help them, so they must be already having a ERP solution, or they have their own technology. Now, how do they move from there to here? How do they move to predictive analysis? So you can consult them. You can tell them, okay, this is the technology you can get in, or you can bridge the gap between the existing technology and the new technology, and you can help them in all the way, all throughout the way, and understand their issues and try to solve them. So I really think these are the ways a startup can actually enter into retail sector and help the retailers. So I told all the best parts of using predictive analysis. But what are the challenges? As a startup, what are the challenges you can face? First, data quality. For predictive analysis, the most important thing is data. Your data needs to be accurate. If you don't have the right data, you can't have predictive analysis. So getting the right data from a retailer is very important. The question is, does the retailer has the right data? Does he has an inventory? Does he has an ERP system? Or is he still doing manually? These are the things which you can look into. Second, privacy concerns. Is the retailer ready to share data with you? Because there's so much data. You have the customer's mobile number, you have the customer addresses, their birthdays, then their own sale figures. Exactly what they're saying, their whole sale figure. You require the whole sales of them, and what is the inventory they have. Are they ready to share with you? So those are privacy concerns. Technology integration, as I mentioned before. Do they have the technology with them? Do they have the inventory numbers with them? Are they registering all the sales which is happening at the store points? And most importantly, cost. Are they ready to spend for this technology? What is the ROI as a startup you are able to give them? Are they happy to go, with it? So basically, yeah, this is all about predictive analysis. So I just want to conclude. The retail sector has vast opportunities. As I mentioned before, it's all maths. It's all number game. So if some startup can come into it and give them solutions, and the market is huge. So right now we are just looking at the urban market. The e-commerce websites, they're already using all this. So the large enterprises are already using predictive analysis. They are in proper machine learning, and also, for example, if you look at Myntra right now, they're updating every time. Or for example, right now if you see Zomato always gives you what you bought last. Even Myntra tells you, if you search for shoes, it shows you only shoes in the first page. This thing. But the market is huge for medium and small enterprises. The market is huge at rural places. They're still not connected with the mainstream. So if we solve those issues, if we can help them with predictive analysis and tell them exactly what to sell, every customer is going to be satisfied. Every customer which walks in and the marketing what they're doing is going to be more cost efficient. So yeah, this is all about it. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me.
So you kind of mentioned a little bit about cost and everything. So one of the things which I'm asking is, are you an outlier in terms of like small and medium kind of things and not massive enterprises looking for predictive analysis, or do people in this field like you are trying to think about how to solve these specific problems?
No, I think people in my field, say it all depends on the generation basically.
Yeah.
So I'm a third generation entrepreneur. So I know how technology will help you. But imagine you're speaking to someone who is 60, 65 years old, who is running his business. They might not understand this. So it becomes very difficult for them, for you, for a startup to convince them.
Yeah, I mean, which is basically why I'm kind of trying to test the waters, right? Like, from your knowledge, at least you're part of this Visakhapatnam, this district ecosystem. Do you think there are more people like you who are forward thinking?
Obviously, yes.
Okay, that is my message.
Yes, a little bit louder.
Yeah, in fact, I have two questions for you. Firstly, congrats. I think as Veeravaths as a brand, you were also, I have seen that the kind of extension that you were making for the brand in terms of the number of stores that you have opened in like small towns like Anukapalli or Ceylon for Vijayanagaram, and your partnership with like upcoming brands like the Urban Furniture.
Right.
So my question is like, what was like the thought process that was going behind your mind while you were positioning Veeravaths as a brand? In the previous years, I think I have seen it as like a complete family store. Right now, not on, it is like one store, many options.
Right.
So what was the thought process behind it? Are we looking at like various diversified products at the whole? That is my first question. And my second question is, for a leader like you, how challenging is it like you to align the existing team members within your organization while you incorporate or integrate the new technologies into your system?
Okay. First, thank you for your kind words. So I'll take the first question first. You're talking about diversification. Why are we diversifying so much? So I'll just give you my background. Basically, I've done my master's from NIFT and I was interning with Madura Garments. So Madura Garments basically owned brands like Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Peter England, and People, and other few brands. So when I was interning, basically what did I note? What I noticed is, we were a group of 20-25 people handling 600 plus stores. So when I look back, so when I was actually working, I was like, we are in a small place in Vizag, you know, we're so involved in our business. We are there everywhere. But here there's a company sitting at Bangalore head office with only 20 managerial people working, you know, there's a buyer, there's a merchandiser, but handling 550 to 600 stores. So that was first thing, why can't we replicate the same thing? So what I understood is basically you just need process. You need strong SOPs. Everything will fall in line. So then when I got back to Vizag, I started, when I joined my business, that is when I was like, let's get some processes, let's get some SOPs. The first 3 stores were difficult because there were a lot of challenges, but then it was just copy and paste. So once the SOPs are right, you're just copying that and pasting the new one. And that is whole, again, the idea of diversification also comes in. When you know, for example, you just spoke about urban furnishing. So people who don't know, Urban Furnishing is our store in which we deals with home furnishing stuff, like curtains, wallpapers and all. So today Vizag is a developing city. The number of apartments, number of buildings which is coming up. So we really thought, that is the market we need to be there. And since it's also related to textiles, it was easier for us. So yeah, that was the whole idea behind expansion and diversification. Second, about alignment, right? See, alignment for a family business is always difficult. But with technology, see today these numbers, this predictive analysis, how much to buy, that was never there before. It was always a gut feeling. We are like, okay, XYZ, 1,000 pieces gonna sell, let us buy 1,200. When we got that right, when our inventories have become, proper, this thing, slowly things started getting aligned. In the workforce, basically, if you see, the most important thing for retailers is inventory, the cost of inventory. Once that gets right, all the other things can be managed. So for me to get the inventory is only talking to 4 or 5 people in my organization. Those are the only people I need to align with them. This thing. And once they could see the results, people, fell into alignment, they fell into place. They've understood actually the importance, how technology can really help us. I hope I've answered your question.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Santosh. Actually, I'm running a startup working on in-store digital merchandising. So, when it comes to the garment industry, what kind of merchandising do you have? Have you found any kind of merchandising issues, and what kind of solutions, if you found it, and what kind of solutions you would export in the garment industry?
I didn't understand it.
So, yeah. So actually, I'm working on the grocery store. So the in-store merchandising means, so we are installing a screens in the grocery store, so which can be the companies can approach us to promote their products. So this is called the merchandising. So in garment industry also, do we find in that kind of promotion kind of activity?
Yes, you can do that, but the most challenging thing is space. Today, that is the most important thing right now. As a retail merchandiser, in our apparel stores, the most important thing is the space. So for me to put a digital screen, where do I put the digital screen? That is very important. I don't want to waste that kind of space unless I have a space. If I do have, I will try to promote my own products. I will never try to, because see, here there are 2 models basically. One, the model buy and sell, where I buy the stock and sell it at my store. Okay. Second is consignment, where someone is just putting the stock at my store, I sell the stock, take my commission and give them back the sales amount. So here, the issue what I find over here is first is space, secondly, why will I let it out to others? But this also can work for brands like Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, which they're working with multi-brand outlets. So you have a tie-up with the brand. So basically the store is going to install TVs because that is a revenue where they can generate revenue through it, this thing, and tell the brands to advertise their products. I think it will work in MBO multi-brand, large multi-brand outlets.
Hi, this is Suresh. I just want to ask you a little more in detail question. I have 2 kids who went to Timpani. So on a lighter note, they always used to hate wearing those uniforms because they used to always change every 2-3 years and all. So how do you, can you walk us through, if you don't mind, how do you pick the uniforms? I mean, is it the school or is it something that you propose and they pick 2 or 3, from the stock that you have? Because it's a constant pain point for a lot of kids.
Right.
Because when you see kids, like Oak Ridge, they have really nice, beautiful uniforms, and these guys, they hate wearing these kinds. So
I'll start with an interesting fact. As a retailer, I will never want to change a uniform. Because, see, as I mentioned, I already have that inventory with me. I don't want to again start with a new inventory. See, uniform is something, for example, Timpani uniform, I can only sell to Timpani students. No one else is going to buy that uniform from me. So if a school has the same uniform for years together, For example, Vishaka Valley School or Beckley School, they don't change uniforms. First, recognition. So whenever you see a student from Vishaka Valley, or for example in Silver Oaks, you know that is the uniform. You easily identify them. And as a retailer, it's easier for me also to maintain the stock and deliver service to the customer. So firstly, yes, as a retailer, our preference is not to change uniform. Okay, but if the uniform is being changed, if we take specific example of Timpani, so the management informs us if we are planning to change the uniform. They will ask us options, so we are going to provide, and obviously no school wants to have the same uniform which any other school is having. So you have to provide them something really new. You present it to them, then they go with the selection procedures, and then they are going to decide that this is what we're going to change. And specifically with Timpani, the whole decisions are taken in Bangalore. There's nothing happening in my side. So if you know, even this year's uniform is a vendor from Bangalore. So the whole decisions are taken over there. So we have no role in it at all. I hope I've answered. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abhi. That was really, really insightful, and thank you for spending the time with us. Lots of good use cases to think about, and we'll connect back with you to develop them into more problem statements that we can probably use for either a hackathon or maybe post them for startups to click on. So we'll continue the conversation. Thank you. Now it is time for startup pitches. We have two in the room. Both of your presentations are with me. So let's first go with Is that the right one? Yeah. I'm not sure. Please come in. Oh, this is
Can I start?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening to one and all. Myself is Janikiram, and I'm the founder of Zenitza Beverages Private Limited. As we have played a sport in the childhood, right? So we have a lot of passion to become a professional, and most of the times we are unable to become. So at the time of the moment when I've been in playing a kind of a tennis and all these things, but the few things we haven't mentioned in our discussions and all, because we feel that there is lack of infrastructure and other few things where the people are missing in all other rural areas most probably. So when it comes to the real time, that's not the case, but in also the existing infrastructure also few points are missing, like biomechanics is the one of the thing, and the nutrition, hydration, the strength and challenging, and physiotherapy and the physiology. These are all the major points where the grassroots level is missing. So when it comes to the problem statement, Zenith Zap is mostly focusing on hydration and nutrition as one of the segment in the sports. So here this is what the problem we are covering, like the sports people often grapples with insufficient nutrition, hydration in pre, post and during. This is the concept, and you can see the what the video states exactly. time you have been observed what we have been lacking in hydration nutrition. In all the three categories, most of the grassroots level segment is facing a problem. So by this time we have been observed these three stages where the maintenance of hydration nutrition is really lacking, like pre, post and during. So, and these are the observations and the attributes you can see where the pain points are really required for in the pre-match, during the match and the post-match. And these initially before the survey, this is the market analysis we have been did. This is completely based on what are the key observations we have been observed, like customizable nutri-packs, clean label and natural ingredients, and recovery-based beverages, and also convenient and portability. And after that we have been identified, this is the segment where we can focus like high intensity of sport. We have divided the sport categories in the three ways, like high, medium and low. Initially we want to focus on high intensity of sport like hockey, volleyball, football, badminton and all these sports. So, and even the tennis as well. So the age varies will be like 13 to 25. This is the most grassroots segment where the most of the players are really focusing to enhance themselves as a professionals or intermediate level. So before that, when we discussed about the survey, so initially we thought of interviewing with the clubs and the players, and it's like a mixed vegetable curry. Then afterwards we have identified, like initially we go with the coaches. By that time we have been interviewed only in the segment of football, the sport of football. At the time we had identified, like pre, post and during, there is a lot of hydration, nutrition fluctuations are there. There is no standard you can see over there. This according to the data where we have been interviewed. And as usual the same, we have been interviewed the 40 players. So by that way, the players we have individually, we have been focused like 2 players like Rahul and Varun. These are taking their own self decisions irrespective of the coach. By this, you can map yourself, like if any club is really existed in your place, you can find there is any availability of the sports nutritionist is there or not. Like a majority of the clubs is not available. By that time we have came to know that's what the reason the most of the hydration and nutrition instability is there. And these are the analysis after the research. In this, few of the important points I want to tell. There is a lack of high intensity of the sports, which is covering all the 3 segments, and the nutritionist unavailability is there, and confusion is also there whether I have to choose myself or I need to consult with the coaches, because the coaches lack with lot of knowledge in the basis of in the technical aspects. And this the consumer needs. And this is the nutrition guidelines where we want to develop our solution with considering these guidelines as per the Sports Authority of India. And this is what the solution we are designing. You know the concept of like atom, right? We know the physics we have been studying. Okay, this is the concept we are doing. We have been trademarked 3 different products like proton, neutron and electron. So according to the functionality, we are creating this kind of a 3-in-1 kit, and each kit consists of one QR, where whenever the sports nutritionist is unavailable, this QR will be performing like a chatbot, and it will give all suggestions. This is what we are making with our kit. And this is the trademark where we have been taken Electrona initially, and this is the solution you will be getting in 2-in-1 kit. And this is the 2 variants of the packaging. One will be compressed one, which is portable and you can carry anywhere when you travel, and this is ready to drink. This is the blueprint of the packaging. And this is the hero ingredient we are incorporating with Ukum, and this is having a natural effects of hydration. And this is our value proposition, and this is our target segment according to the basis of Indian sports beverages, and mixed with everything, not like only sports and general carbonated one. It's mixed with everything. And this is our competitive analysis, and in the competitive analysis we are mainly focusing on packaging and also the portability and the natural ingredients where we want to incorporate and will give the better results for the hydration, and also few aspects as well, eco-friendly packaging, and also the convenient on the basis of if the nutrition is not available, we want to connect those gap with the help of our product. The way we are doing, and most of the companies like Fast Enough, Gatorade, Leap and Reek and the many other components are there, we are not focusing on. Yeah.
Now the questions start.
Yeah. Yes, these are achievements, and these are content grant recently from Bangalore. This is my scientific team, 1 minute, sir. And this is my coaches, and this is my team where we have. Sorry.
No. I mean, more questions,
Yeah.
you will have more.
Yeah, fine, sir. So
Three
now
minutes.
I'm open for the questions.
So I have 2 comments and 1 question. So I guess one thing which I'm not understanding why, and maybe you can talk about this after.
Yeah.
Comments, you can talk after. I don't see why you need to make a packaging, because if you, like the bottle thingy, it feels like you
no,
don't need
it's
to.
not a bottle thingy.
Yeah.
Bottle thingy, it's one, if the product is available at that time, it's okay. If your player is traveling, at the time if our product is not available, it will be compatible. You need to just pull it from the top to bottom, you need to add water, then take it and that's the bottle.
That's a pretty cool idea, but it feels like it's more work and more complex packaging. So if you guys are going to
No,
market
basically we can do it with the packaging where the paper boat example, sprout boat packaging, we can make a compressed one. We have a design, it's still in the process.
Yeah, I'm just we can talk.
I got.
So that is one. The second one, which I found maybe that needs a little more work, is like a more direct, more smaller beachhead market, which I didn't see because your range is pretty wide and a lot of sports are there. So maybe one option could be like 25 years football. That whatever it is, whatever you choose. I think that would be helpful. The third question is in terms of, I guess this is an actual question, right? So how, like, are the chatbot and all these things essential for your program? Are they actually giving you value, or are you just doing it because
Actually,
everybody's
there are
like
two kinds of things. Must have, nice to have. This chatbot what we're creating is nice to have. It's not a must to have. The product is the first priority and the service is just giving where the gap is really required. So you can use it and it will give some answers according to your scope. That's what we are building.
Yeah, okay. No, I was just curious.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Any other questions?
And thank you, sir. Thank you, Divakar, sir, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you. All right. The second pitch is from Agent.
Yeah, you go.
Just send it to me, right?
Yeah, just.
Short pitch is what happens. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll flag you with one.
Oh, it goes. So, good evening, everyone. I am Charan from Asian Dynamic. We're a deep tech R&D startup. I'm here to talk about one of the problems that we're solving, which I'm involved in. So it's hard to make new medicines, even more so for mid-sized pharma companies. Why? I wasn't expecting that. It's difficult to keep quality control and manufacturing processes in sync in a metrics like supply chain metrics and manufacturing metrics, stuff like that. And the in-house R&D needs to frequently be guided so that it ensures that it's working on revenue-generating targets instead of some random things, because that's a dynamic field. So this is all great. But the problem is, each and every one of these problems have their own dedicated software solutions. For example, the first one has an ERP system, the second one might require, again, an ERP system, and the third one might need a LIS system or a CTMS. These are all pharma-specific key terms. So these dedicated software solutions might bring up problems like high upfront capex, specifically for mid-sized pharma companies. So here's how we're trying to solve this. So our solution to this is a book of spells and a magic wand. Just kidding, it's not exactly that. So our solution is a software framework called Nimbus and a UI generator that uses Nimbus to generate the whole application. So the goal of this software solution, is to reduce the development time to less than or somewhere around a week. typically a dedicated software solution takes anywhere between 4 to 6 months at best, and probably even more in a different case. So this is what our goal is with our software solutions. And here's a demo of the UI generator. Play it. So the UI generator, you just need to feed in the information architecture graph of the application and enter maybe the name. At least this is like the demo version, so it's not really complex. You just bring up your name and some description maybe, you can save, and it generates it. And there you go, Symbiox is the name I put in, and the graph assembles the UI for you.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, that's all.
I'm almost done, so yeah. So this is the team behind Asian, Prithvi, our CEO, and Dr. Radhakrishna, and me, the engineer working on the UI generator and part of Nimbus. So if you have any questions, or if you're working on in the lines of biotechnology or pharmaceutical companies, if you have any problems in these lines, you can reach out to us at that email address, ads@asiandynamic.com.
Or you can actually talk to us here.
Oh yeah, that is also fine. Questions, please.
Any questions?
Hi, is this specifically for pharma industry?
Right now, yes. The Nimbus is like a pharma specific data fabric. It's all built for pharma specific use cases.
Yeah. Has anybody started using this?
Not yet. We are about to like get it out and maybe start testing with a few people.
Thanks.
Just to add to that, okay. So basically, he's going to answer all the questions, but I'll add like the add-ons at the end. So we are concentrating on like the pharma industry because we have deep expertise in biotech and being able to develop algorithms. So the part where about creating new medicines part, that's where we want to be. But if you are a product owner or you have ideas and designs in another sector, we are happy to partner with you. The framework and the system will still work, so we can hash out something that will be mutually beneficial. So we are all about working with other people. That's why we are an R&D startup. We are not like any one thing kind of a company.
So it's like you are generating the information architecture.
Yeah, from the information architect.
Generating the information architecture
No,
of the company.
from the information architecture.
What are you generating from the information architecture?
The application itself.
You're generating the entire application, the
Yes.
design, the UI elements,
Yes.
and everything gonna be in that.
Yes. Yes. And I understand you might have concerns for like white labeling for your brand. We will address that later. As you can see in the demo. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Let me get to the UI part. So when you click view, it's actually an instantly deployed version of what might be your application.
Okay.
As you can see, the graph is like pretty simple. It just has the home and there are like a bunch of pages in there.
Yeah.
That is the only information I'm feeding in right now. So here's the system, like here's the UI. And you can customize it because you will have the project in your hands. The customizability is like a different story, like different part of the application. It's just a prototype right now, so we are not really doing that.
Okay,
as
got
of
it.
now.
Guys, it's now in the initial stages of
Yes,
build.
yes.
Got it. So why you took only this sector of medical pharma sector? Why you took this?
So, in pharma and biotechnology companies, right now everybody's looking for digitalization and the operations needs to be faster. Huge companies do have in-house development teams, or they can outsource it and spend huge upfront capital expenditure and get their applications ready. They want a laboratory information system. They could bring it in. They could build it on their own, specific to their organizational needs. But the problem comes in where when we talk about upcoming biotech startups or mid-sized pharma companies, they might be a bit skeptical. Given how competitive market is getting right now, they need to be fast. So they cannot really wait for like 6 months get their application running.
Okay, got it. I'm really not. You have done your research, but I don't have the reality of this. But we as people in the pharmaceutical industry, we generally do a lot of precise decisions. A lot of precise. It's very important.
Right.
So I think this application, maybe you can choose some kind of a different segment, not entirely the biomedical sector.
Sure.
You can focus on multiple things. I feel.
Got it. Thank you. We were exploring ideas, so it's a great idea. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to ask you said 6 months it takes to generate.
No, not generating. Like if you were to give it away as a software development project, they would, do the requirement specification and then the system designing and then developing it. Developing it usually takes around 3 to 4 months.
And you're able to do the same thing less than a week.
Yeah, less than a week. We said less than a week because right now the demo shows you instantly. Because most of the parts will be assembled instantly, and 1 week for you to check it and make any changes you need and stuff like that.
And there's no one else doing this.
That's the goal. That's the
Yeah, at
goal.
least that's the goal. That's the goal.
We've got. It's a more nuanced conversation about how much we're able to do in that.
Yes.
But our approach is working, and over the months we've basically come to this point, which is why we're doing this demo. You'll see a version of this coming out every month now. So.
Thank you, and we can certainly take questions later. So we have to move on to the next segment, which is idea pitching. We barely have any time, so anybody here ready to pitch ideas? I thought we had a couple, one at least. Okay, they didn't show up. Well, if we don't have any ideas to pitch today, we can open up for open mic. Anybody is welcome to share.
I want to do it. So I want to share mine.
You want to share your idea?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. It's 3 minutes.
Okay.
You want to come up here?
No problem. Is it okay?
People have to see you.
Okay, no.
You have to come.
Stop. Okay. So we know educate. My platform is about regarding the purpose of education. So we are studying in the groups of technology, and these are all the stuff which is really through evolving. But we are studying the core concepts of technology. So I think I have preferring a kind of a media platform for institutions like enterprise B2B for institutions, so that they can have interactivity within their with the institute, and everyone we require in India is not. We have a student mail ID so that we can enter into different conferences and all this stuff, and we can view events from Gartner and all that. So we gonna provide a specific email for all the people of the students, like in a B2B category. For them, we are going to provide it. And we gonna let them discuss the ideas, thoughts, and all the stuff in a platform. So I know, I have very one kind of a thing of interest, recruitment or something else should not be focused at the stage which has at the young. It should be something which the student has, a persuasion of their education, or the passion towards the technologies or whatever the stuff it is. That's all should come and entirely reflect at his final placement. That's what I'm feeling. So I'd like to propose a social application for EdTech, especially for the B2B enterprises, and provide a work email for the students so that they can work upon enter into a lot of gatherings, a lot of stuff actually they can do. And there is something which I want to do is so that's what I'm feeling. Even cloud-based services, we know cost of MATLAB and all this kind of a software which are really important for educational purposes, and all this can be within a single platform. They can access that as a service, and all these things are going to be in that kind of a manner. That's what I'm feeling. That's what my idea is. I feel I want that with students really, because they're gonna bring more innovation, gonna make something great happen. So I believe in this. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Prithviraj.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share any ideas, any thoughts? Okay. If nobody has anything you want to share, then I'll move on to Few announcements before we close the session. As I am announcing these things, can you please provide us feedback on this session? Thanks to the rain incessantly for the last 3 days, we have a thin crowd today, but no problem, we will continue our march. So please provide us feedback. Few announcements here. AU Nidhi IDBI Ignition Grant Call 2 application deadline is today, so we are closed for applications. So those of you who applied will hear from us, from the review committee. For those of you who don't know what it is an excellent opportunity to get some funding to build your ideas into a prototype. That's what that's for. We've had a wonderful celebration for World Entrepreneurship Day on August 21st. If you missed it, it was a fantastic day with Ideathon. We had 10 ideas that we were considering, or we were listening to. They were all in this room, right? Sorry? Oh, well, we had to move it to 26 because 21st was banned. So we had to move it. Our next launch and level up workshop, which is the last one of the 8 workshop series, is on September 24th and 25th, and it will be on pitching and networking. So far we've had great success with this workshop series. This is the last one, and we are going to redesign them and compress them into a 6 workshop series starting in January. So I'm looking at Srinivas because there's often more accurate information with him. So, all right. So if you're interested in pitching and networking, it's a great workshop to attend. If you are a TIE member, if you're a TIE associate member, it's free. You walk in, right? So if you want to know more about TIE and why you should be a member of TIE Vizag chapter, please contact Srinivas. He is the executive director of TIE. TIE also runs, in collaboration with us, TIE Women Program. I think the 4th session was yesterday, right? The 4th session was yesterday. The next one for the TIE program, or TIE TYE program, TIE Young Entrepreneurs Program for high school children, is starting on September 7th. And September 7th also happens to be, oh, it is not, it's postponed?
You said it's a holiday.
It is a holiday, I was just going to say.
You're not giving us the
next, but, well, it's holiday for Startup Saturdays, it doesn't have to be for TIE. But anyway, that brings me to the last announcement, which is TIE, sorry, not TIE, but before I go to the last one, we have a hackathon coming up. Excuse me, we got the problem statements from Mr. Rajesh of PBL Transport, who presented here. So he gave us the use cases, and we converted that into a hackathon, and he and his staff are helping us put this together, and they're willing to invest in any viable solutions that come out from the hackathon, and they'll invest money to take it to market.
People are taking pictures, but I think that's the wrong.
This is an older version of the poster, and please.
That's the wrong QR code. Right?
That's the wrong QR code.
Doesn't work, yeah.
Okay, this is an older poster from last week or last hack. I don't know, somehow that got the wrong one. But the new one is coming out in a couple of days. We are working on sharpening the problem statements. We'll get them on our Instagram account. It'll also be posted on our Startup Saturdays group and AU Incubation group, all the WhatsApp groups. So you'll get them. But please be tuned in. Stay tuned and you will get those details. September 7th, which happens to be the first Saturday of next month, is a holiday due to Ganesh Chaturthi. So we decided to move that to this day. Maybe that is why we have a thin attendance today. That's probably why. And Srinivas is laughing at me like I told you so. So, alright, well, that brings us to the end. So those of you who want to join us on WhatsApp, there is the QR code. I hope this is accurate. Everybody here seems to be on the group. Follow us, like us, subscribe us on our social media. Can you go back? And can you go back? Can I go back? Anybody scanning?
Join the group.
Yeah, we will go back. I'm just waiting if anybody's scanning this one. We do monitor this group closely, so please know greetings.
I think once you subscribe and all this kind of stuff, right? Which platform is that?
All social media platforms.
All social media platforms should show up on that QR code, the next one.
Okay, got it.
This one.
Yeah.
So on the WhatsApp group, we do monitor it very closely, and you shouldn't get any forwards, good morning, good evening messages, birthday greetings, wedding anniversary greetings, and kids' birthday greetings, and happy birthday greetings. None of those will show up. If they do, we will immediately delete them. Alright, thank you all for a wonderful session. Please join us at the podium for a group photo.